Okay, today we've been doing book stuff, but in the meantime, I found some of my old prison technology and it shows the evolution of what happened. Now, when I first came to prison, they had an MP3 player like this, except it was half the size. It was like that. And what it was is you plug it in. I don't think this has batteries. It might. You turn it on. See, it's turning on. You put your batteries in, and they would have this kiosk over in the gym. Now, you couldn't just go up to it. You had to fill a call out and then 2 days later you get a call out. You'd select your music on here. You'd go into settings or whatever it was. Where is it? Okay, these are the music. Anyways, you would go here to system. You would go into catalog search right here, and you would look up various artists or songs, and you were never able to pre-listen to them. You just had to be like, I like this song, so it's hard to discover new music. Once you found what you like, you'd put a call out in. You'd wait 2 days. You'd go over there. You'd fill out a disbursement, which would take another 2 days. Let's say you wanted to put their songs were $2 a piece. You wanted to put 3 songs on, $6 on the disbursement. Once that got processed and taken out of your account, now you had credits, and then you could go over there, plug up, and then come back. Now, if you had obscure music like I did a lot, it wouldn't be already loaded on that kiosk. It looked like an ATM. And it was over in the school building, and you couldn't stay there while it loaded. So you'd have to come back. It wouldn't fully load. It would prepare it on the ATM, machine. But when you got back, you'd have to fill out another kite, go back, plug up, and finally get your music. But that's all it really did, music. They had a part where you could get some books here and there. The next thing that came out was the smallest version of this. This is the bigger version. I had one that was half this size, like about like that. And it's what I wrote the clinic on. See, Securus. Now this worked differently because they had the kiosks in the unit. So this had more features too. And when I was in prison, a lot of people like Nick had never used a touchscreen before. So we had to teach them because they never had phones. So we had to teach them how to do that. So you can get video games, you can get music, and then you can watch actual videos for like self-help stuff. But people who had phones in there found out how to hack into them, notes from the pen, and put movies and porn and all that stuff. So here's a game, for instance. But what happens is this is at one of the better ones. I didn't get many games. It's a racing game, and you pick your car and do all that stuff and you race around. A lot of people spent so much of their time doing this. This is why I only have 1 or 2 games. I deleted the ones early because it stopped me from writing, and I needed to be productive. Now, all of these were added slowly. They weren't there the whole time. Okay, so you would go to videos, and right here, you would download a video and you'd plug up and then you'd give it to the dude. He'd load it with movies. I watched The Penguin. I watched, really new bootleg movies on these. But if you got caught, Justin got caught, you would catch like a theft or a destruction of state property or a smuggling ticket because they wondered at some point some phone was connected to your thing, and you'd get in a lot of trouble. So I don't know what the next iteration of this is going to be. These are supposed to be wireless, and in some states they are. That way you don't have to plug up to send your messages. You can type and send it, and it hooks to the Wi-Fi router right in your unit. But we didn't have that in Michigan. We had to hack these things and find other ways to do it. But for the most part, you still had to write your message. You'd plug up to the kiosk. It would load all the new messages on. But you could sit there and do this. And once this started coming in, this is when technology kind of started invading prison. Not to the way that it does out here, because there's no need to be looking at your tablet all the time because you're not getting new messages. But it did allow me to do a lot of writing, especially on this larger one, and it was really nice. So the chargers with them, I don't know what the hell I did with them. They were just up here. Okay, so here's the charger for this. You plug this into the wall. You take this cord, you plug it in there, and this is how you would charge this one. This would plug into the wall. You would plug this down into here, and that's how you charge your thing. Once they're loaded up with music, they're worth a lot. So you could sell these if you were leaving for like 50, 60, sometimes $300 if you had a ton of music on it. Once these came out, they made them less valuable because it was easier and whatever. So yeah, that's the update on the prison technology while I was in. I'm sure it's still progressing. I don't know where it's at now. But once this started getting hacked, it really changed the game. Dudes get porn now. They get all kinds of shit. They get movies. They get TV shows. Orange is the New Black, the new Marvel stuff. They get everything on here. You got to be real careful when you're watching it. When the COs walk by, you got to pretend like you're typing when it's going on. Anyways, where there's a will, there's a way. Technology might be later in prison, but there's a way we find out how to get it in there because human beings just have that need. Unfortunately, and fortunately, I guess, depending on what you do with it. Anyways, this has been another take just for the Patreon people. We love you. If you like any of these clips and you're not on Patreon, come join Notes from the Pen on Patreon to find all exclusive sauce. We love you. We are gone.